What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I am your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore, Salestrina. Gentlemen.
What's up, guys?
How are we?
Good. How are you doing?
Not bad.
Terrible.
Not bad? Terrible.
49ers.
49ers. A little bit of a choke job, eh?
I mean, it's nothing new to Kyle Shanahan.
That is the storyline. Kyle Shanahan, 28-3, loses.
The last
20
two
to
fourth quarters of
10?
the Super Bowl, he's what? He's given up how many points? 21 to the Patriots.
Quite a few.
And then how many to 42?
So it was 21?
Yeah, 21 and 21. Or 21 and 22. So it was 43-0 in the fourth quarters. That's pretty terrible.
That is pretty terrible. And Patrick Mahomes got MVP. We should probably point out, too, like...
That one you can definitely debate.
So just so everyone knows, I do have camera set up, and we are back live on the visual front, not just the audio front. So you can head over to the YouTube channel and check us out there. Patrick Mahomes, MVP.
I mean, for the whole game, he seemed kind of, kept in check. He wasn't impressive at all up until that last quarter, and where he took his game obviously to another level.
The part
just kind of drove that team to a win.
The part I will say is when he needed to make the throws, he did make the throws.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
At that point, it's like you put a different quarterback in there. Say you swap Garoppolo for Mahomes. Obviously, I would say San Francisco wins that game. So, I don't know. You can definitely say he made a valuable impact to his team if you're looking at it that way.
But Damian Williams definitely has an argument for...
I would say he had the best performance in the game.
Yeah.
So if you're going strictly based on performance, you have to say it was Damian.
Well, I would think that's what the MVP is for, right?
It's a quarterback award, realistically.
Yeah, it is.
And that just sets up your face of the NFL for the future.
Well, yeah, it's Patrick Mahomes' first Super Bowl. They wanted it up there and show him with MVP. And
they
all
want
that.
the NFL to showcase
that's
their new
baby.
star,
That's
their new baby.
That's Baby Yoda right there. That's what that is.
Wow, Baby Yoda. That's a good take, Sal.
Big Pat.
It's just, I can't. It's easy to second guess San Fran after it happened, but
They're still going to be a great team for, I feel like, quite a few years.
I have a slightly different take. I think they.
You think they drop off next year?
It's so hard to come back after a Super Bowl.
Well, especially in that division, but same thing. They have a lot of young players. They have a really young offense, too.
Do you think this shakes Jimmy's confidence for next year? That's another thing, though.
I think that's a possibility. They could definitely slide a little bit next year, maybe get a wild card spot, because that division does have the Rams and the Seahawks. Obviously, the Rams took their
Rams
slope
could
after the Super Bowl.
The Rams had a bad year. They could definitely.
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt that they'll be rejuvenated next year. And then you don't know.
Arizona might be okay.
Yeah, if Arizona drafts well and can, sign some solid free agents, no stars are going to be attracted out there, but some solid guys that can help defense and offensive line, that team has some breakout potential.
Definitely.
You know what's interesting to me, too, is that everyone's talking about the Chiefs being the new dynasty, the Chiefs this, the Chiefs that. What about San Fran? They're a good young team.
I still think they definitely have a shot to be.
It's like everyone's just high on the Chiefs.
I don't want to say dynasty for San Francisco for a potential, but
we're forgetting that there was a part in the middle of the season where the Chiefs were out of it.
Yeah,
no one thought the Chiefs were gonna.
San Francisco has a chance to win multiple titles, especially with good young receivers.
The problem with them is, in order to win the Super Bowl, you need to be able to trust your quarterback to make throws down the stretch. What Kyle Shanahan has told me throughout the season is he does not trust Jimmy to make those throws.
I think he did against the Saints game.
I would say if any game
that was his best moment.
I would say that was his best moment of the season, and that's probably where he peaked.
But you don't think that stuck with Kyle Shanahan though?
If you're gonna ask him to run the ball for 3 quarters and then go out and be the best player on the field in the fourth quarter, that's very hard. Not only number one is it very hard to ask for him, but number two, that's above his head. He's not a good enough quarterback to just be able to go out and sling it all over the field for one drive when he has to make that drive. He needs to be in rhythm. He needs to make easy throws. He needs to build his confidence up throughout the game. And Shanahan wasn't calling the plays to make him successful, I don't think, especially later on in that game.
They do get a lot of run heavy, and it was working there for a little bit when they were up, but then you're not going to be able to hold Kansas City. I don't care how good your defense is, and I think that they've shown that now. It doesn't matter.
You can't play not to lose against them. Because if you do, you're going to lose the game. That's what Jacksonville learned when they played New England in the AFC game. You can't play not to lose. They took a knee in the first half, just San Francisco did. I know they tried to throw it to Kittle, but still it was a pass interference. So
Let's talk about that though. Was that a pass interference?
that was a weak call.
I didn't think so. That's
And
not a call you make in the Super
A lot of
Bowl.
people were comparing it to the Kyle Rudolph
which was easily
touchdown
You could easily say that was a pass
to win the
interference.
game against the Saints.
But that was I don't know. I feel like that was the only bad spot when it came to refs in this game. They kind of stayed out of the way for the most part, which was pretty nice.
Did we get a challenge on that play? Did the booth challenge?
It was
that?
under 2 minutes. I don't think you could
Yeah.
have. The
I
booth.
don't
Doesn't the
think it
booth
was a
look at
challenge.
it though if it's kind of egregious? I don't know.
That's the thing. So
I feel like that's the type of thing. Even if they did go over it, where they would just let it.
They
stand
would
on the
say
field.
they would say it's inconclusive
Yep.
and they wouldn't call it.
See,
But
and that's the thing too. Like, I was so happy because the refs did stay out of it. Like, you're right. Like very rarely did we see a holding call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If
like,
it didn't
I
matter to the
love
play, they
that.
weren't calling it.
I love that, and they need to do that all year round. Why do they wait till the Super Bowl to do that?
I don't know. Well, they want to clean it up during the regular season because there's sloppy holdings and sloppy this. And
But here's the
sloppy
thing:
that.
if it's not involved with the play, if it's on the other side of the field, who cares?
I totally agree with you. I'm all for throwing less flags.
Yeah, and I think that was one where it definitely should not have been thrown. Because if they don't call it, do you think the guy's protesting like that much? Do you think their sideline's protesting that much? No,
They probably throw their hands up and they're like, come on, ref, but they're not like.
it's like it happens on every play,
It's tricky.
and that shifted the momentum. Because then after that, they took a knee and went to the
Could have been 13-10, and then maybe it's a whole different second half. You never know.
because they get the ball in the second half.
Good call with Sammy.
Sammy Watkins, yeah.
Next day.
Over catches and over yards. I mean, just ate Sherman all day.
Sherman did not look very good.
Did you see the visual of the pylon cam and his face is like just straight down into the ground? Like his helmet is just face down.
Yeah.
I think Darrell Revis might have favorited that tweet. I think I saw something. He either retweeted it or favorited it.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
Darrell Revis was laughing the entire
And
time.
then he tweeted like, "You guys waiting for the flame?" And then he put like laughing faces or something like that. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins was saying, I saw today that he was watching Devontae Adams' performance against the Niners in the NFC Championship game on, plays that he just burned Sherman on. So Watkins said he was recognizing those coverages the entire game and was able to just hit on an inside release and just go. And he'd have Sherman right behind him.
Yeah, and I mean, he only had 5 catches, but I think that they were definitely
they were huge
monumental
catches.
in the game. They were momentum shifters.
Every time I was like forgetting about Sammy Watkins, he'd make a big catch, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Nolan said that Sammy's gonna have a big game." Like that's funny.
And then there's always a classic throw down the field to Tyreek Hill,
Yep.
and he always gets wide open. How crazy is that?
My whole
There's that one play. It's always towards the left side of the field, always going the same way. It goes left to right. Every single game, I see a 40-yard pass to Tyreek Hill that he just is wide
I mean,
open.
if you have one safety over the top, and realistically, it's just 1-on-1 like that. If Tyreek has the whole field to
Against one of the
maneuver,
fastest people on the planet,
you're not covering him.
he wants to go for the U.S. Track team. Did you see that?
He should.
Yeah, they showed
They would be stupid not to let him try.
I'd
out.
love to see him run without pads and a helmet on.
They
Everyone-
showed,
what
they
is
showed
that gonna
the,
look like?
the what was it, the 100 or 200 meter dash of the Olympian, Usain Bolt and everybody, and they showed the line of where Tyreek Hill 40 time
He
was
was third.
from high school. So imagine where'd he be right now?
So the thing is, if he pulls a hamstring or something, how mad
yeah.
would the Chiefs be?
Oh, they would be pissed.
Because that would just be imagine if I don't wish anything bad upon him, obviously, but if he had a torn hamstring, just running.
I mean, he already broke his collarbone, he was out for the beginning of the season.
That's just the only scary part about that. That could be just very.
Because he is a small guy. Small guys tend to be more accident prone in a very physical sport, but I think running is a whole different thing.
Your favorite prop ended up winning.
Yep, and I missed it too. So I was with Sal when we were watching the Super Bowl, kind of listening to when they were going to drop this Jimmy G previously playing for the Patriots thing that was even money. I know, ridiculous. And we're 3 quarters in, and I'm like, are they going to say this? Because I thought the perfect opportunity was when they were talking about his record earlier in the game. And I guess during one of us saying that was the perfect opportunity, they actually did say it. So that $100 hit. And then I just had another 15 that I was able to throw somewhere else. So I saw Patrick Mahomes, 2 or more touchdowns in a quarter. Took that. Why not?
Wow.
Won $60-something on there. So those were the 2 prop bets that hit.
That was a good bet.
I really didn't do anything else. I didn't feel like picking a team for spread because I didn't really feel like rooting for a team that strongly.
The spread was gross too. It was 1.5.
Yeah, pretty much big.
Man.
Did I tell you what the total opened at? Do you remember me saying that?
54.5. You had it at 58.5, right?
It opened at 51.5.
Oh,
And the
it was
final
51. That's crazy.
That is crazy. They're good with that.
Yeah, they know, dude. They just know. The Gatorade one. None of us got
The Gatorade
it.
Orange?
hurt
Are you
so-
kidding me?
It was orange. When have you ever
Why
seen orange?
There was absolutely no build up to it. It was just like
It
Mahomes
happened
on the
early
field,
too.
like, they're all just like high fiving, they're hugging, and then it's just like Gatorade dumped on Andy Reid.
It happened early too.
You know
It
what's
was like early.
hold on? You know what's insane? Mahomes is drinking purple Gatorade on the sideline.
No
And
way.
they-
Yeah, I heard that earlier.
Swear to God, and they did it just to rile everyone up. And then once the Chiefs won, before the Gatorade bath happened, like when Damian scored the touchdown, I thought to myself, okay, good. Like they scored, that means that the purple Gatorade is going on Andy Reid. And then they just dumped the orange.
Well,
And
you had red though, so you were hoping it was red.
I had purple. I had purple.
Oh, you had purple also.
So I had purple before it was 10-1, and then it went to even money. So it dropped all the way down in the span of one day. But my book left it up at 10-1.
Like, let's put ourselves in the Chiefs' shoes, right? So like, imagine if we were on the team. Imagine if we saw that like all over Instagram, like, oh, the odds to. Wouldn't we fuck with it too? We'd be like, oh, no one bet orange. Let's go to orange.
That's literally what happened. I think orange was the least bet on out of all of them. Either orange or like water were the 2 that were the least
And
bet
then
on.
Kyle Shanahan was the first coach to be shown on TV.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thought it was
don't
Andy
know.
Reid.
No, I think it was Kyle Shanahan because I remember watching it and I was like, oh, Kyle Shanahan got shown first.
That's crazy.
The under hit in the anthem
Tails.
by a lot. Tails.
Tails.
I would have hammered
Tails.
tails.
I did
Tails.
like Tails.
I lost $10 on heads too. I was so pissed.
Fuck.
It was such a bad start.
That was a really
That's
bad start.
when you lose the first bet, it's not good. It's never.
I saw that
never
there was a
sign.
bet that if Demi Lovato was gonna have a mic stand,
Did she?
that's the guy
She
from
probably
Barstool had that prop,
Really?
and she did have a mic stand.
What a stupid.
It was what's
That's
that,
almost as bad as
fuck,
Gatorade.
what's that guy's name?
Marty?
Oh, that's way worse
Marty.
than Gatorade.
Marty had
Yeah,
that.
Marty
That-
was-
that is
He's
such
like,
a
she's an animal if she does it freehand, and I was like, you're so right. Like she's a crazy person. When was the last time you saw somebody do the anthem freehand?
True. I didn't even think about that. She's an animal.
She's an animal. That was what he said.
That's great. What other props hit? We had over Damian Williams rushing yards, obviously. I think he got over receiving yards and over catches. So if you like Damian Williams, you had a great day.
Kyle Juszczyk had a good day. If that was
Yeah.
Did we say he was gonna get a touchdown? I feel like we said he was gonna get a touchdown.
Who,
Damian?
Williams?
No, Juszczyk.
Someone probably said
Oh yeah,
that.
I'm sure that was mentioned at some
I
point.
feel
last
like we
week.
mentioned that.
His over-under yards were like 12 or like 11.5 or something.
Right, and didn't we say that we're like that could happen in one play?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we did say that. And it did. It
And
happened
it
in that
did
first
on
play.
the touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, he probably has the best.
I was thinking
reputation
about that
of
during
any
the game
fullback in
too.
the
I was
league.
like, wow, we said that. We
Mhm.
were like, it could happen in one play.
I mean, he's just kind of that like sneaky guy that will like run a little 7-yard route, but then he'll like just run over someone and he'll do
Yeah,
like
Because
10
everyone
extra
knows him
yards.
for his run blocking.
Yep.
Because he's technically a fullback, right? Even though he could
Yep.
be a tight end.
Yeah, he plays. I mean, he even lines up like outside too. Like he does everything for that team.
And like
He-
no one ever
when he
covers
played for
him.
Baltimore, it was the same deal too. They used him in a lot of different ways.
I'm very disappointed in Emmanuel Sanders and I can't even say like disappointed, but Sanders and Kittle both didn't really have that good of a game.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I
didn't hear their
think
name
the
too
Kittle
often.
thing was a lot of Garoppolo just missing him. There were
There,
some plays
there were a
where
couple
he
plays
was
where
wide
he was
open.
wide open, and
There was a third down play that like he missed.
I feel
and
like I
Kittle
didn't
was
see him
wide
targeted
open.
too often either.
he didn't get very many targets.
You
And
just
I
didn't hear his name that much during the game.
And
at
I
all.
blame that on Kyle Shanahan. I really do.
I remember the play where it was either second or third down later on in the game, and Kittle ran like a little inside route right up the middle, and Garoppolo went short and missed the pass. And like Kittle, he was pissed. Like you could tell he was pissed. And I don't know if it's just like a lack of like not trusting him or just like he's a one-read quarterback, but he just was not throwing Kittle's way.
I don't like. Here's the thing. I just don't think it was in the game plan to focus on Kittle very much.
But why? Like he's your
no idea.
he's your best pass catcher.
They did exploit the Debo Samuel
Yeah, I was gonna
taking
say,
the outside
Samuel
jet
did have a good
sweeps.
game.
The outside jet sweeps were very successful against them.
But what
like,
else did they do
obviously,
well?
you can't do that every game.
Like they ran the ball well, but then when they needed to run the ball, they decided to pass the ball. So the game plan made no sense. It's like he panicked. He got to the fourth quarter and then he started playing Madden. Like he was lining up 3 wide receivers and he was running like deep, like crosser routes or like I just don't know what he expected when
I think
it got tight late in the game.
He tried to morph his game to the Chiefs. He tried to be the Chiefs, and I think that like
you can't
outcoach Andy Reid.
No, you can't out
Yeah,
Chiefs
but
the
you
Chiefs.
can't. Like Patrick Mahomes is just its own animal. You can't copy that.
You know what it
You can't
is?
go in there thinking you're going to stop them.
You
You
know
have to
what-
go in there thinking
No,
we're going to score
you
more
can do
points
that-
than them.
San Francisco can do that with other teams, and they sure as hell did that the whole year. But you're not playing the Chiefs every week. We're talking about like track stars as receivers, and then Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback.
You know what it is? The Chiefs are the Golden State Warriors. You have to find a style that can beat them.
Yeah.
And scoring with them is not the way to beat them. So if San Francisco wanted to win that game, they had to give up like 13 points. And I know they scored however many, 20, but it had to be like one of those like slug it out, like Mahomes wasn't getting any yards kind of game.
And that just shows that if, like, in the next 2 years, if the Chiefs' defense is even just good enough, they're going to be fine.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think that they now have an offense that they're set with. And I think now that they can start focusing more on the defense and
the problem is
credit to their defense, they clicked into another gear when it came to the postseason. So
the problem is you're gonna have to pay Mahomes a metric contract. So
They're going to be fine with that.
No, obviously you do that 100%. That's not even a question. But that takes away from other aspects of your team. So like a guy like Sammy Watkins, you're not gonna have, who had a great game. A guy like maybe Frank Clark, you don't end up signing or whatever. Like there are guys that you just don't end up having the luxury of having because Mahomes has.
would that be the only thing holding them back from being a dynasty per se?
I mean, at this point, I don't see, there's no other real reason why they couldn't.
Yeah,
I mean, you have all-stars all over that offense. You have Travis Kelce, you have Tyreek Hill. Mecole Hardman is becoming a very good player in
There's
his own
one
right.
thing that can stop them from being a dynasty. It's Mahomes' health. That's the only thing.
And I mean, he did look shaky this year. He dislocated his knee.
he wasn't 100%.
I don't think he was ever 100% after that.
It was a very wacky play, though. We were here and we saw that. Like, it was a QB sneak.
It was a Packers game.
Oh, no. It was
the week before.
It was
that,
the
'cause Matt
Broncos
Moore
game.
started the
It
Packers
was the Broncos
game
game
right.
when he QB sneaked it, right?
God, I was
Yeah.
so pissed because I was insanely looking forward to like Rodgers and Mahomes that week.
Yep.
And then
That would have been a great game.
we got Matt Moore, and Matt Moore had a pretty.
That
good
was
game.
still a good game.
Yeah, they didn't beat him, but they came close. They made it a game, which it ended up
They
being
covered,
a very good game.
and I liked the Chiefs that week.
I mean, it ended up being a very good game.
And then they covered against the Vikings, too.
Yep, Matt Moore, baby.
Matt Moore is very underrated backup.
Like
Gonna get the job
Fitzpatrick.
done no matter
Like
what.
Fitzpatrick, but now Fitzpatrick is a starter for the Miami Dolphins.
What if the Patriots traded for him? And then
Stop.
they got rid of Brady.
Stop.
Threw a 40.
Stop, dude. Oh, my God.
I mean, we could talk about that. There was that Hulu ad. Brady said he's coming back.
Okay, but did he, though? See, here's the thing, right? So I've been going around this the whole fucking
was a weird
last
commercial.
week, right? So he puts that picture out of a screenshot from the commercial, him walking out of the tunnel, which nobody at the time knew about the commercial. He puts it out, no caption. He knows exactly what. So like everyone's like, "Oh, what does this mean? Oh, Tom, please stay." And it's like, okay, what does this mean? And everyone dissects it, right? Then Saturday comes. Then they're like, "Oh, it's just from a commercial that's coming out tomorrow for the Super Bowl." Then everyone's like, "Oh man, like wow, like it doesn't mean anything." But think about that whole time that picture was out and everyone's dissecting it and looking deep into it. What does this mean? They're zooming in on the background. They're like, "Oh my God, what does this mean? Tom, stay." He knows what he did with that. He knows what he's
smart.
doing. He is playing this masterful. This is a chess game to him. And he is trying to get every ounce of money from whoever offers it to
Yeah,
him.
like you said last week, he's just gonna drag it out as long
And
as
he's going to
possible.
drag it out
100%.
as long as he can.
He's not signing for like 2 more months at least. He's going to wait till late.
He might go
He
well
might wait
into
till
free
the
agency.
last day of free
Mhm.
agency. And right, so then the commercial comes out. He's like, "I thought you'd want to hear this from me." And he says, "Hulu has live sport." And it's such a trolling commercial. And then at the end, he's like, "Me, I'm not going anywhere." And then everyone's like, "Tom's not going anywhere. He's going to stay a Patriot." But is he, though? Is he, though? Because then,
they said
it comes out that the Raiders are interested in him and are going to pay. And that's the part I didn't get, right? The Raiders come out and are like, "Oh, we're gonna have you pursue Tom Brady and free agent." Okay, what team isn't? What team isn't gonna pursue Tom Brady?
Imagine Tom
Fuck
and John
off.
Gruden.
That would be funny.
But the Patriots, it came out that they are willing to pay him a lot of money.
Yeah,
I
$30
think
million
$30
a
million a year. Come
Which
on,
is
at
what
this point,
top
it's hard to
quarterbacks
believe
get,
that he's
so,
not
like-
going to come back.
I would root for wherever Tom went. It would just be crazy.
Oh,
to
I
see
would
him.
too.
It would just be
It would
crazy.
force me to
see
hate him though.
Seriously?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Why would you leave?
I don't
If
know.
he goes, if he
It
goes,
makes no
Fun?
also makes no
doesn't
sense
make
for any
sense,
team
but-
that gets him. It really doesn't, right? You look at the Raiders. They get Tom Brady. They push fucking the fuck's his name? The quarterback at Oakland,
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
oh, I thought you
I
said
was
Carr already.
drawing a blank, right? They throw away Derek Carr. They trade him away, whatever.
All right, what if you sign AJ Green, and you have Tom Brady and AJ Green and Tyrell Williams and Darren Waller, and you draft a running back?
Listen, I'm not
What do
saying.
you mean draft a running back? Josh Jacobs?
Oh, Josh Jacobs! Wow, that would be amazing.
And they also have Richard, who's their backup. But like, listen, I'm not saying they're going to be a bad team. They're going to be a really good team. Then 3 years goes by and Tom retires. Now what?
John Gruden doesn't care about that. John Gruden has a 10-year contract. John Gruden does not care.
Listen, it doesn't make any sense for a team that's like rebuilding and looking for a franchise quarterback to sign Tom Brady. It really doesn't make sense.
Are they rebuild?
Yeah, but
They're
John-
going
Because then,
like,
to
right,
right,
it's
it's
we'll
3
worry
years.
about that after.
It's 3 years at least. What if he gets hurt and it's not even a year? Then he retires. Then you're just stuck. You're paying Tom Brady.
Then you draft
You're
a
stuck.
quarterback next year.
Then you get a Dwayne Haskins situation. Then what happens, Sal? You're bad for the next 8 years.
Tell me what.
Tell me how the
what
Jets feel right now.
Tell me what Vegas' option is right now if they don't sign Tom Brady. They're gonna keep going with Derek
You think
Carr.
Derek Carr is a bad quarterback?
I never said Derek.
No, but he's not going to win you a Super Bowl.
What are you gonna go 8-8 every year? That's not fun.
Are you forgetting the year that they went like 13-3?
With like the
They
best
did,
defense
but they were
in the league.
amazing.
Yeah,
Khalil
but, like,
Mack was off his ass that year.
I think
He was.
Mahomes threw 2 interceptions and fumbled twice and won the Super Bowl. It does not take a quarterback to win the Super Bowl. It takes a defense to win the Super Bowl.
It takes both.
It takes both.
because
It takes both, but like
this
They
year
had-
Patrick Mahomes
this year
did
they
not
had the
show me
quarterback
anything.
and the defense wasn't as good. But
They-
you go to most of these teams,
The-
it's defense.
The Oakland Raiders had the worst secondary in the league this year. If not the worst, then like top 3 worst, right? So how are we fixing that? That's number one.
Tom Brady's gonna fix that.
I'm not saying Tom Brady's gonna fix that, but why not? Why not have more fun with Tom Brady than just be a regular crappy 7-9 team? You're going to Vegas. You need some sort of draw. What better draw than Tom Brady?
I don't think they have any problem. I think the Rams have more of a problem than the Vegas Raiders do. They've already
just went to a
sold
Super Bowl.
tickets to this. Like when the Vegas Knights came to Vegas, they sold out every game.
But imagine if Tom Brady takes.
They didn't
the-
have Tom
Listen,
Brady on
listen.
the Vegas Golden
Imagine
Knights.
if Tom Brady and John Gruden with the Vegas Raiders goes to like the Super Bowl.
That's
that
not
would
gonna
be the
happen.
greatest story
It's-
ever.
It's not going to happen.
You can't.
You're right. It's not. That'd be amazing.
Okay,
Not even
we're-
just in a Super Bowl. Just
okay. Going to
And
Mars-
a couple round in the
just John
playoffs.
and Tom on the same
going
team.
to Pluto would be amazing too. If we're just going to talk, theories.
You
here.
can't tell me you can't tell me Tom Brady and that team doesn't make that team better.
Any team Tom Brady's on makes the team better.
So what was
I'm
their
saying-
record this year?
What
7-9.
Yeah,
Raiders-
You're
And they
telling
had a
me
good
Tom
start,
Brady's not
too.
worth 2 wins to that team and they can be a playoff team?
And what, get bumped in the wild card game?
So what? What are the Patriots going to do?
That's what
are
they
the
were.
Patriots
That's
gonna
what
win
they
this-
were going. They
are
were
the
a few
Pa-
wins from doing that.
Are the Patriots going to win the Super Bowl next year with Tom Brady?
if they put a receiver or two next to him, yes.
I just
Yeah, but
don't
you
think
also-
so.
They also just
Look
lost
at
the
their
best
defense.
offensive line coach ever. And their offensive line personnel isn't what it was 2 years
Their
ago.
their
He
running
made
backs
the
are
best
so
out
bad.
of what they have.
They need at least one receiver and one tight end. Their
I
defense.
don't even know. what
Yeah,
we're
they don't
arguing
have a
about
tight
anymore.
end.
All I'm saying is
Okay.
if Tom Brady goes to the Vegas Raiders, that would be the biggest attraction probably in sports.
Okay, and what I'm
Brady
saying
and
is,
Vegas.
There's better offensive situations that Tom can put himself in the NFL right now.
Yes, and that's another thing. I don't know how much cap space they have, but if they have cap space, they can go out and who would not want to play with Tom Brady? What receiver would not want to sign
that's
up to
what
play
I'm
with Tom
saying,
Brady?
but I'm saying
That's
that
all. That's the only quarterback Antonio Brown wants
for
to
the
play
short
with.
term makes a lot of sense.
And Mayock would sign anyone for Tom Brady. If Tom Brady went up to Mayock's office and was like, "We're signing this person," Mayock would say right away.
Mayock would do anything. Mayock would go homeless on the streets of Vegas and give Brady ownership of the team. But here's the thing. What I'm saying is it makes no sense. They don't need that attraction. Tom Brady can get just as much money and stay on the Patriots. It does not make sense.
They're going to pay him that kind of money, though.
Which defense is
where are
better,
you going to
the
get
Patriots
receivers
or the
in?
Raiders? Which team gives you the
Obviously,
best
the
chance to win the
Patriots.
Super Bowl? The Patriots or the Raiders?
But wouldn't it be bad? Like, imagine if the Patriots played the Raiders in the playoffs. How much satisfaction if...
Oh, man, Bill Belichick would kill them.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
he
that's
wouldn't.
very true. That'd be amazing.
I'm not saying
It'd
he
be like a
wouldn't, but if
20-0
he really
shutout.
does hate Bill as much as like some people say he hates Bill, maybe he just wants to go play somewhere else. You don't know what his motivation is.
Maybe he does.
And maybe it's...
I think his time's run out on that, though. I really do. I think he realizes that. I think he realizes that he has a solid 3 years left. And does he want to go spend it on a team that's rebuilding, that's not ready to take him to the Super Bowl, and he's just going to waste 3 years of his life when he could be making the same amount of money and have a shot at the Super Bowl those 3 years?
See, I think he should stay with the Patriots, but
He's gonna
just as
stay
a
with the
football
Patriots.
fan, how fun would it be to just get him to play somewhere else? I want him to go play somewhere else.
Okay, but
'Cause
you're not
it'd
a
be
fan of the
different.
Patriots.
No, I'm not.
You want to see him leave so
Yeah,
bad.
that'd be exciting.
I don't want to see him
I'd
leave.
root
I'm
for
a
him,
Patriots
too.
fan.
I don't-
All I've known is Tom Brady.
I don't want to see him leave either, but I feel like it's all aligning for where he is going to leave. Like he...
No, it's not. Everything tells me that he's staying.
Think about the sports media stir that week. Tom Brady departs from Patriots.
But I don't think Tom Brady cares about that. Like football.
So
fans,
why is he
yeah,
running
yeah.
ads during the Super Bowl?
Because he wants
Why is he
more money
posting that
from
on Instagram?
from fucking,
Because he wants the attention. It's the Super Bowl, and Tom Brady's used to being in the
yes,
Super Bowl.
and he wants all the attention so that Bill.
So
that
how? What
Bob
better way to
Kraft
get
will give him
attention
all that money
than by leaving the Patriots?
No, he's staying. Sal, he's staying.
He's
He's gonna get $30 million a year for like 3 years from the Patriots, and he's gonna end his career as a Patriot, retire with maybe one more Super Bowl, maybe not.
We'll see.
It's
Barring circumstances.
listen, that is the most sensible thing. Him going anywhere else is just like theory, and we're just we're going to Pluto. That's all it is. And I know you'd be excited to see it. A lot of football fans would. I would not be. I would stop watching football. Like that is like I would feel like the Cleveland Cavaliers after LeBron left the first time.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
Tom at what, 44 with 2 years left?
That's like Michael Jordan leaving the Bulls and going to the Wizards. Like, why? He just wants to like leave for a couple years. Like, if he wants to do it, it's Tom Brady.
But didn't Michael Jordan retire first and then go to the Wizards?
Yes.
So if Tom Brady retired for a year and then went to the Raiders, it would make that much of a
That'd be
difference.
worse. That'd be way worse.
That would be way worse.
That'd be way worse. Like everyone, when Michael Jordan did that, they were like, "Why? Why are you doing that?"
I don't know.
Still average 20.
I don't take any blame if he leaves. Like, I'm not gonna like be mad at him or feel some type of way. Like,
But you're
No,
a
you
Patriots
can't
fan,
be.
Sal.
I know
You can't be mad at him.
He won six Super Bowls. How can
No,
I?
no,
How
I'm
can
not
I say
saying-
anything?
I'm not saying I'll be mad at him, but being a Patriots fan would tear me apart.
Yeah, I would be intrigued, but it would suck seeing him doing good on another team. Like, it would be great.
Kind of like Mookie Betts leaving and going to the Dodgers, which we'll talk about later. But
That
keep
might
going.
be a perfect segue, actually.
I mean, like, I kind of am off of the Tom Brady thing. I think it's getting played out.
We'll see what happens.
Hey, it's gonna
I'm-
be
I'm
cool.
sick of-
It's gonna be
I'm-
quite the topic for the next few months because
I'm sick of the migraines that he's causing. Is what I'm saying.
So you want to know what's weird? Antonio literally said to me the other day, or it was Tuesday when I saw him. He was like, "So we're doing the podcast tomorrow, right?" Yeah. Okay. Well, what are we talking about? Like Patriots, whatever. He goes, "Oh, we'll talk about the Mookie trade." I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, it's gonna happen tomorrow." And he literally said this to me Tuesday, and it happened Wednesday night. As soon as I saw the notification on my phone, I was like, "What?" I was like, "Does he?"
Where did
know?"
you see that?
I didn't see it. I just told him.
This kid works for Vegas.
He's weird.
You work for Vegas, dude.
He said word for word, "Yeah, we'll talk about the Mookie trade." I was like,
What I
okay.
did not expect it to be his 4 teams though, because I was at work, phone vibrated, looked down.
Can
It's
someone?
a
I see
massive
something-
trade.
Can
I
someone?
see something about a trade, but I didn't unlock my phone or anything because I was very busy. Then I asked another kid, I'm like, "Hey, can you check your phone for a trade?" He goes, "Oh man," and this kid's a Red Sox fan too, and he goes, "Yep, Mookie just got traded," and I said, "Who's involved?" He goes, "Well, Mookie and Price went to the Dodgers, but the Twins and the Angels are involved too," and I was like, "Holy shit,
Yep.
this is a big deal."
Can someone tell me how Peterson ended up on the Angels? Who?
I thought he ended up with the
and,
Twins,
Like
Jock Peterson.
I thought he went to the Angels.
the Red Sox got a pitching prospect from the Twins, and then they got the outfielder from the Dodgers,
got
but
Verdugo.
traded away Price and Mookie to the Dodgers. Like baseball is weird with their trades.
Well, the only reason they did that was for the luxury tax. That's all they cared
Baseball's
about.
crazy, man.
yeah, and that is so bullshit.
That's crap. You're the Boston
But
Red
you
Sox.
should hate the Red Sox for that.
Oh,
Can you
no.
hate the Red Sox for that?
All right, here.
You're right, Jock Peterson is going to the Angels.
I thought so. All right. I gotta collect my thoughts. I am pissed that they are unwilling to go over a luxury tax bill, which I know
that
they
they've
can
gone
spend.
over for the past like 10 years.
Yeah, you're one of the richest franchises in baseball.
They also own Liverpool, who's doing quite well right now. So it's
They
not like
do own Liverpool. They own Nesson.
it's not like you're doing bad by any means. So you're not willing to reinvest into the team. That's kind of bullcrap.
Because that was the thing that's like when they said like 12 years, $400 million. I was like, the Red Sox could definitely pay that. They have more money than the Dodgers,
So
don't they? It's close.
It's probably the same.
Yankees and Dodgers are the two richest in baseball, and then
And the Red Sox are up
Then
there.
right after that, it's
So
the
like
Red Sox.
the Red Sox could pay that.
So my thing is, do they not think Mookie was worth that? Because they said that they were $100 million.
If that's what they
He's
thought,
been
they're
like
idiots.
kind of every other
And John
year.
Henry
though, I
should be
feel like.
fired
'Cause
if that's the case.
Mookie won his MVP, right?
Yeah.
Or no, not his MVP. There was a year he got second in MVP. He lost to Altuve, right? Or that might have been another year.
I was going
but-
to say Trout.
Oh
Probably.
yeah, Trout. I thought Mookie should have got MVP that year. Then the year after that, he slips a little bit. He bats about, I don't know, like 270 something. Maybe he got to 30 home runs. Then he had his MVP year. And then he slid down a little bit again and was in like the 280s area opposed to, which is still very good, but opposed to the 300 to 330 that he was the year before that.
He's going to be disgusting on the Dodgers, though.
You really think so?
Oh my! With
He's
that,
gonna get paid and then just
no, with that order,
Well, me saying that is like maybe the Red Sox don't think he's worth that because of that
oh,
kind of inconsistency there.
I'm gonna go back to that point. But if you're telling me that he gets to bat behind Cody Bellinger or
Oh yeah.
Justin
Justin
Turner,
Turner's
it's not
still
gonna
there.
be on his shoulders anymore.
I mean,
It
it's-
wasn't
like
on the Red
Red
Sox,
Sox
but-
had a great lineup too, but just the protection he's gonna get in that lineup.
Yeah, he's all of a sudden not going to be the best hitter on the team.
But will that make him shrink though? Instead of the opposite, him
I don't think
getting
so.
out of this world numbers.
I think just that
I think he rises to the occasion and becoms the best player on the Dodgers.
He's either going to bat first or second, and that's going to be right in front of Bellinger.
My brother's probably really happy he's a Dodgers fan.
So
His grandparents actually are the oldest season ticket holders for the Dodgers. They have like a plaque in the stadium.
Wow.
that's crazy.
They're not my because we're half siblings, so like they're not, and it's on his mom's side, so they're not my grandparents, but
That's still insane.
That's wild.
That's very insane. Or great grandparents, I forget.
I'm not gonna say Mookie's not worth the money, but I don't think he's worth 12 for 420. I think that's what someone reported.
His contracts are just getting ridiculous.
If you want to
Maybe
give
we'll
him,
get used to it soon. I don't know.
if you want to give him like 12 for 350 or 360, sure, but 420.
That's what I think the right area is.
I don't know. Like I guess for $70 million for a player that good, you probably shouldn't like haggle with him. But
I couldn't find like the details on the trade like anywhere. Like no one laid it out, and like I couldn't find it on
Twins
these-
ended up getting Kenta Maeda, right? He was involved and went somewhere.
I mean, that's probably where he had to have gone, unless he went to Boston.
Because I originally thought Peterson went to the Twins, and I was wrong there. But Angels, it's a pretty good land for the Angels.
He's on the Twins.
Who?
Maeda.
I'm pretty sure.
He'll get lit up.
Oh, okay, wait. I think I found it. So the Dodgers get Betson Price and Luis Rengifo.
No idea.
Red Sox get Alex Verdugo, who's the outfielder for the Dodgers, and then Brusdar Graterol, which I think is that Twins pitching prospect.
Yep.
The Twins get Kenta Maeda,
Oh my God, he's gonna get lit up in that stadium.
and the Angels get Jock Peterson in a separate deal.
Nice land for the Angels.
So the Dodgers-
they're slowly
the
building
Dodgers
toward
had a
having a
s-
contender.
I don't
next
know.
year.
That lineup is Jock Peterson, who they signed Rendon.
Yeah, then
Mike
Trout.
Trout. I love that.
Otani's still there. He's
Wow,
Hitter.
Otani in
I
the
was gonna
lineup.
say, they're building a contender over there. Astros are gonna slip.
Do they still have Andrelton at short?
I think so.
That's a good
They're still a
lineup.
very good team.
I mean, you have like 80-year-old Pujols too, but I don't know how often you're gonna play him.
Get your pitchers in line, and then
I think it was good too,
Angels will be
like
talking.
the
Jared
way the
Weaver
deal
comes
went
back.
down.
He's like, 80-mile-an-hour fastball.
The way the deal went down is like it's not gonna force people to hate Mookie Betts. It forces them to hate the Red Sox.
Absolutely. And Mookie Mookie was saying the whole time, like, Boston's my home. Like, I want to stay in Boston, this and that.
Yeah, and then Boston didn't want, like, the Red Sox didn't want him.
I've always been a pretty big Mookie fan ever since he came up. I am a Yankees fan, but that's he's a nice young player, and it sucks. I'm almost disappointed that he is going to the Dodgers if he's leaving the Red Sox, because that's just another place where he's going that I'm going to be rooting against.
Yeah.
Because I always said I would have loved to see him be a Yankee.
It's kind of reminiscent of when Johnny Damon went to the Yankees. But, like, people hated Johnny Damon for that. They're not going to hate Mookie Betts for this. Cause
it's different because
it's out of his control. Yeah. Johnny Damon just went and he's like, hey, I'm going to sign here.
That was right after the World Series, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, they won in 2007.
And then he won with the Yankees.
Damon signed with the Yankees. They missed the playoffs, and then right after that, new stadium, World Series.
Like, he's probably the most savage human on the planet. He has a Red Sox ring and a Yankees ring.
Yeah, but then I thought it was going to happen again.
You can't say anything to Johnny Damon for the rest of his life.
I thought it was going to happen again, though, when the Yankees, or when Ellsbury won the World Series in 2013, immediately signed with the Yankees after that. And I'm like, all right, it's happening again.
And then
we're getting the Red Sox center fielder, and then no, he just
sits
out in Tampa.
Nobody has seen Ellsbury for years.
No, I haven't seen him in at least 7 days.
Did you see the Yankees' injuries are already starting?
Yeah, Paxton. Ugh.
He's out 3 to 4 months.
I mean,
with what?
Assist?
Yeah. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Is he 90?
It's not the end of the world. They're gonna throw Jordan Montgomery back at the butt end of the rotation.
Ugh.
His rookie year, he looked nice.
You guys need to win it this year.
Oh, absolutely. It's 100% the year
I mean,
to do
now
it
with
the best
Dodgers
team
are
in
the
baseball
favorites
is
now.
going to slope down a little
Dodgers Yankees, that's the World Series. I don't see any other way.
Honestly, that would be exciting to see, though. You wouldn't want to see that?
No.
Oh, because you hate the Dodgers?
Yeah.
Give me, yeah.
What would you want to see?
Yankees Mets. If the Mets can get their shit.
That would be a great World Series.
The Mets are going to be really good.
Yeah.
That roster, there's no way. Like, I know you're going to say once again, everyone says about the Mets every year, but this is a lot different. They have good young players.
Mr. Alonso.
Before, it was like, oh, the Mets signed some guys and they still have good pitching. Let's see what they do. You actually got good offensive young pieces this time.
How about a rematch of the World Series 11 years ago when they played the Phillies?
Yeah, that's another possibility. I was going to say, anyone from that NL East division. Anyone from that NL East division besides the Marlins would be a great World Series matchup.
Nola and Arrieta, and they probably could trade for another pitcher too. And the lineup they have with Bryce, I mean, they could. I could see it.
I've said it before. That's going to be quite a division to watch this year.
Bryce is looking for revenge. His team just won the World Series that he left.
It's gotta hurt.
It's gonna be a revenge tour. And he's the type of guy, like, if you light a fire under him, brings out the best in him.
I can't wait. I said this a couple podcasts ago. I can't wait to see the Nationals play too.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about these NL Central teams though.
Oh, I mean maybe the Cubs, but you never know. Cubs.
People are kind of building up the Reds a little bit right now.
They love doing that in the offseason, and then they'll go like 50.
I want the Reds to do well. I love Joey Votto. He's been like one of my favorite players since he came up, and he's just being wasted.
Nah, he's gonna be one of those guys that like when he's in like his last year, they're really good.
Yeah,
like there are just people like that when
and they're just gonna wait. No, he's gonna retire. Then
they're gonna win like the World Series.
He's not gonna retire. They're just gonna say, "Yeah, we're done with you." He's gonna be like 36. He's gonna get signed by just some random contender. He's gonna DH. Hit 36 home runs and bat 248 in his last season, and then
what if he does?
Like, no, he's gonna do that now. Like, he called the Betts trade. Like,
what? How come you said that? Like, I really want to know why you said that.
I don't know, because it's like a really, really talented hitter his entire career. He's gonna get old, you know. What do you call it? Decline a little bit, and then he'll have that one bad year, and that's when the Reds are just gonna be like, "Oh, get out of here." And then it's just going to be...
Yeah, I was talking about the Betts trade.
Oh, the Betts trade?
Why did you say that?
Damn it. Oh, I don't know. I just had like a funny feeling. Just confidence. Just something to talk about during this podcast.
Like, was it your knee, or you're like, oh, it's going to rain today?
No, how did our dads at that? They'll be like, it's about to rain later. And then it rains later. You're like, what?
No,
that's the way Antonio is.
I just said that to him. Like, wouldn't that be cool to talk about if it happened, you know, tonight or tomorrow before we do the podcast?
So you said, like, if it happens, that'd be cool to talk about? Oh, okay.
You definitely were like, it's happening.
But no,
though.
I said it like, we're going to talk about this trade.
You're weird.
You're a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry. NBA.
NBA.
Lakers had a very dominant performance last night. LeBron had, I think he went 5 of 7 from 3.
Yeah,
He had
5 in a row.
Yeah.
4 in a row, 5 in a row.
Something like that.
It was
It might have
4 in
been
a row.
4.
He's on a mission. He is just,
The Lakers are full
Good.
steam
I'm happy
ahead.
to see he's on a mission. I haven't seen that in a very long time.
and they're playing hard every night. And like Davis on that team, they're gonna trade for someone too. The deadline's
I
tomorrow.
don't even know the last time we've seen LeBron like on a mission. Like
I don't think they desperately like.
They don't need someone-
a trade.
2015 finals, LeBron was on a mission, but it was like just for those finals, or was it 2016? Whenever they won?
2016.
Yeah, when they came back.
I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
so
about.
like that season, like those finals is when he
Nightmare.
like was on a mission.
I
But that was just for the finals.
I think they should look into trading Kuzma. Like I don't know that he's
That's
like
like LeBron's son though. Like
I don't know that he fits with them.
LeBron's sons him so much.
Yeah, but again, I don't want to trade him for like a 31-year-old like 3-point shooting veteran who averages 11 points,
Which is what they're gonna do.
But if you-
which is what they do on
Yeah.
a LeBron team. But Kuzma is a promising young player, and he's shown that, especially in his rookie season when he averaged around 18. He's not getting the minutes he used to, but I still think he's a pretty good shooter.
So I've been talking to a couple of people about this. I would love to see a Joel Embiid for Bradley Beal trade. And Tony's like,
Between
what?
those two teams,
Yes,
you did a what?
Joel Embiid for Bradley Beal. I think that
I don't know,
makes.
I think Embiid hates playing with Ben Simmons, but again, I think every single player on that team hates playing with Ben Simmons.
But I think
To trade Ben Simmons away. Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
for
but
Bradley
then
Beal?
everyone on that team that he gets traded to is just
Well, they do that-
playing with
they-
Ben
I don't
They
think
have a point guard, right?
they don't. No, then they have John Wall and Ben Simmons.
No, I'm talking about Sixers wouldn't have like.
Oh no, they would have no one at point. I
Joel
TJ
Embiid.
McConnell.
that team made so much sense with Bradley Beal and Ben Simmons. You throw Ben, Tobias, Bradley, Thibault, and Horford out there, and that's a really good team.
I've never liked Al Horford.
I like Al
Al
Horford.
Horford's
Like,
good.
It's
always
one,
been
it's one of
very
those things where I'm like,
respected.
how is he so good?
Ugh.
Like, it's just he doesn't make sense.
It's not
People-
like he's so good. He's just a very.
He's
solid
average
player.
Al. That's
He's,
what
you know,
he is.
He had a
That's
few
his-
All-Star game appearances.
No, he's better than average. He's very good. He's just getting older. That's his only problem, really.
He's a big hustle player.
And you can't play with Joel Embiid. Like, it's not the 2000s in the NBA. Like, it's 2020. You have to have one center, and he has to be able to shoot. And Joel can't shoot. And Horford can't really shoot that well. So it's like that team just doesn't make sense the way it's built. And then we had the
I think they had the thought in mind of having this huge and long.
Well,
team.
that team matches up good with Milwaukee, but that's about it. So if they run into Milwaukee, I wouldn't be surprised if they won. I know Milwaukee's like on a scorched earth path, but
yeah. I mean, when was the last time they lost a game?
they're like 41-7.
Oh, so okay, they did lose their 7th game finally. 9-1 in their last 10.
They're gonna have like what 68 wins this year? Like that's
Most
ridiculous.
They're
Who?
projected for 66, but
Milwaukee.
I'm sure it'll exceed
Milwaukee.
that.
Yeah, they always just like no one ever pays attention to them, and then they just keep winning.
Yeah,
Which I think like the Lakers are gonna have around that 60, 65 range probably.
Yeah, probably closer to 60, but still they'll be up there in ones. I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, Lakers will probably have around like anywhere between 60 and 64 wins.
I think it's gonna be the Lakers out of the West, and I don't really think that is like up for debate either.
Yeah, I think after that game, like after Kobe died, I think everyone's just like, yeah,
They're
So,
just going to
like,
be
everyone
like a
forgot.
full-on snowplow.
everyone forgot about the Clippers. Like no one cares about the Clippers anymore. They're out of the picture.
Now
It
they feel
doesn't
like the
matter.
Chiefs, though. What if they just come out and?
Well, they're gonna be like the Chiefs, like when it gets closer to the playoffs, because everyone's just like, yeah, the Lakers are doing it for Kobe, and it's like everyone's gonna forget about Kawhi and his sleeping giant
So
sharing the same building.
I kind of want to bring up the Trailblazers because I am always off of the Trailblazers like every year because I get so tired of how underrated people
Dame?
say they are. But now I am 100% on Portland.
Major trade for Kevin Love.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That team,
Dame Dollar.
they're out of a playoff spot right now. They're 2 games back of the Grizzlies, who are 508th
He's
place.
pissed this year.
But Damian Lillard is going insane.
He's been going insane for the past few games.
That's I feel like I've been watching Steph Curry with the way he's been shooting, and obviously Damian Lillard has that kind of shooting
Yeah.
in him, but not to the extent that I've seen this year, where he's just pulling from 30 feet out with
And then
no
McCollum
regard.
is always just quietly getting 30, 25, 30 points a night too.
Mm-hmm.
Whiteside finally seems to be figuring things out.
He's so bad.
They just
And then you got Carmelo coming off the bench, which a lot of people are like, but like,
Doesn't he start?
does he start now?
I think he starts.
I think. Well,
No,
he
Ariza's
likes
starting.
coming off the. He
Oh
likes
no,
coming off the
Ariza.
bench.
They just got Ariza.
starting.
which
Carmelo
is
would rather
I
come
think
off
a
the
pretty
bench.
nice signing. He's always been a pretty good player.
The one thing
Very
we didn't,
reliable.
the one thing we didn't talk about is Capella got moved from the Rockets to
Yeah, the Hawks.
Atlanta, and then they got Covington. Timberwolves got, I don't even know. I don't even think they got anyone.
What a bunch of dumbasses.
They got like a first round pick or something, and then the Nuggets ended up getting like a couple players.
Wasn't Clint Capella like hurt?
Clint Capella was hurt, and then he came back. But with that team, it doesn't really make sense to run Clint Capella
Do the Rockets think they're gonna win the championship?
with PJ
Oh,
Tucker
like,
playing
are you
center.
kidding
Always
me?
think that. I saw something.
The
that was
memes,
like,
the memes on Twitter.
they're like
with PJ
rest in
Tucker.
peace, PJ Tucker. Not because he's like ill or anything, just because they're gonna be playing him like 30 minutes a game.
It was like PJ Tucker after playing 41 minutes against
They
Nikola
have
Jokic.
no size.
And it was a picture of like KD right after he got his like leg cut open, and he had like the IV around his nose. That one was too good.
Capella's like their only defender. What do you do now?
No, they just want to score 150 a night. That's their only.
Yeah,
that's the only
their
reason why
mo
they're there.
is we're gonna score more points than you. Like,
Yeah, and that's
we're gonna
not
win
at
the
all how
race.
you win a championship. And I just don't know how Mike D'Antoni doesn't realize that. He might be the most stubborn
it's because
coach
they think
I've ever seen
that
in
that's what the
NBA.
Warriors did.
They're
But then
gonna-
Everyone forgets how good the Warriors defense was.
The
Yeah.
Warriors were amazing on the defensive end.
So they're gonna run Westbrook, Harden, Covington, Tucker. Who am I missing? Gordon as their like crunch time.
Terrible.
So you got Gordon and PJ Tucker, who are almost the same person, who are like Gordon. Yeah, he's proven that he can go out and score. Westbrook is only good for scoring and assists. Harden like scores when he wants to,
Not in the playoffs.
not in the playoffs, and he like
yeah, that's when he goes.
he will
like,
go out and put up
3 for
massive
15.
numbers, and then the playoffs come around, and he's gassed because he's just been doing this every night. And
then-
everyone thought that when Westbrook came, that would be him able to like lift off the gas a little bit, but he took it as like a competition. He's like, you know what, Russ, let's go out and see who can score more points.
Yeah, but then Westbrook's playoff games are always like 26 points, 13 assists, 9 rebounds, and then like 8 turnovers while he shoots.
8 of 24.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 8 of 25 or something like that.
Yeah, and like I hope that they make the playoffs and I can just watch them collapse.
Oh, it's gonna
Like I
happen.
always do.
That's just automatic.
I can't
so
wait
much
for that
fun
to
They're
watching
like,
the Rockets
you know who they're
just
like?
collapse.
They're like the Bengals when the Bengals used to make the playoffs every year. They just would like get in there.
Precisely. Like when
I
they
can't-
get to the
I couldn't
last
say
game
that
of the
any better.
When they get
It's
to
a perfect comparison.
when they'd get to the last game of the season against the Steelers, and then like the Steelers would beat them, and
Yep. And then they
the
always
Bengals
play in
would
the
just fuck
playoffs
it up.
wild card weekend, and then they do the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's just always something with
The
them.
Bengals would like fuck it up somehow with like a Vontez Burfict penalty.
They just love choking it.
Yeah.
Kind of like the 49ers.
49ers choked it. Let's talk about the what do we think of the halftime show?
How can you not like it?
J-Lo and Shakira.
Shakira.
J-Lo.
SpongeBob.
No, that was last year.
They should have done it again. Last year they only played it for like a minute too.
Well, it was to intro Travis Scott
I know that was lame. They should have done.
because they saw all the memes beforehand. They're like, no, this can't top this Super Bowl, and it was just the SpongeBob thing. But then I was like, but this year, like, they're getting a lot of backlash. People were saying that it was too Hispanic. It was like
It's
degrading
Miami.
to
It
women.
doesn't make any sense.
Literally.
degrading to women, which like,
People are just soft. That's
and then
what-
like,
Have they
J-Lo
not
was-
watched like any Super Bowl halftime show? Like that's just what happens.
Dude, J-Lo pole danced for like 0.5 seconds, and then all the Karens came out and they were like, whoa, this is too sexual. There are kids that watch this. When in fact,
Take your child.
I
away
didn't
from
hear
the TV.
Karen. I didn't hear you complaining last year when Adam Levine took his shirt off on stage.
very true.
That's the
He
part
was
that
in the
I didn't
halftime show
understand.
last
Yep.
Yeah, it was Maroon 5.
They were the halftime show.
Yeah, and
Oh.
them and Travis Scott. And was it Cardi B too?
Oh,
Oh,
Whatever. And like no one complained when Adam
3
Levine went
strikes, you're out.
shirtless. Adam Levine went shirtless for half of his like set, and no one cared. No one was like, "Oh, there's kids watching."
people who want to complain about that have nothing better to complain about. Like at that point, just like
Yeah, and the too Hispanic thing, like fuck off. It's Miami. Like
yeah, seriously.
I didn't get that. What do we think about the commercials? Besides the Tom Brady commercial,
I haven't
The
seen
Google
good-
commercials was like very heartfelt. Other than that, there was not like
yeah. I haven't
Anything
seen like
good.
funny Super Bowl commercials
And
since
forever.
maybe 2012.
Yeah,
Like I always remember one from when I was a kid that I thought was hilarious. It was some guy got a snow globe threw it right at this old guy's crotch, and it was something or somehow had something to do with Doritos.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them were like you had no idea what the commercial was about until they said.
It would just be like back to back ridiculous commercials, and now
I thought like
now it's gotten boring.
Another thing I didn't get about the whole like degrading women thing, like I felt like the whole theme of like the Super Bowl was like empowering women. Like most of the commercials
and then the
were,
women
like,
want to tear each other down, or like they want to say like
yeah, like they had Carly Lloyd in I think like 4 Super Bowl commercials of her kicking a field goal.
yo.
I didn't get that because she was in the opening Super Bowl thing. She was in that deodorant commercial.
The beginning of the Super Bowl was the best thing I ever saw.
Oh,
though.
that was a great.
That
and it
was
wasn't a commercial,
That was so
Amazing.
weird.
No, bro.
but no, that was sick.
I was sitting there and like they all ran out, and I was like waiting for like the like ad to go away, or I was waiting for it to like flip, and then it was like literally just the Super Bowl. I was like, holy crap! Like this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
No, that was sick. But what the part I didn't get about it, the only complaint I had about it was like they're in like New York the whole time, and then he runs out and they're in Miami.
Yeah,
Like they could have just did it in the streets of Miami.
that's true.
You're not
But-
supposed to think about it like that, man.
Okay, well I look at things a little different.
Commercial logic.
Yeah.
What if I just threw my phone at him?
He'd probably tell you like the name and date of something in your phone before you even knew it.
That's great. He'd be like, "Oh, you're getting a text from your mom," and then a text from my mom pops up, and be like, "What the fuck?"
You're like 20
dude?
minutes away. You're gonna get a text from,
So what do we? So let's talk about this. What are we gonna do now? Football is over.
I mean, I'm watching the XFL. This
I'm
weekend.
watching. That's exactly what I was gonna get into.
So-
I'm watching the XFL.
So this might be an XFL podcast, honestly.
I'll watch it.
it depends on how
I'll watch
good
it, but
the
that
actual
can't
play
be.
is.
Yeah,
but
that
like,
can't be your like emphasis for every show. Be still.
Oh no, we're XFL all the time, every day of
God.
the week, 7 days a week.
I mean, we'll be one of the first XFL podcasts. I don't see any
Still
other
throw
XFL
some NBA in
podcasts
there.
out there.
And
no, I'm
hockey here and there.
I'm literally just joking, but like
No,
I will
yeah.
talk a little
Yeah.
bit about the XFL.
I'm obviously
I'm
gonna watch
excited about the
games
rule
this weekend.
changes that they have, like where they're, if you have the choice to like take it from or get one play from the 25 or whatever to get it. If you score, you get the ball back, or what is it? Instead of kicking off, like
I'm on.
you get one play from the 25.
I don't know. I'll find
and
out
if you
this weekend when I watch
Yeah,
it.
If you score, you get the ball back. I think that's what it is.
I might
So, like,
watch
if you
this
wanna
and
go
be
for
like,
an onside
what am I
kick-
watching? But
you
I'll
want
figure it out.
you want Sal's gambling tip of the week? Take the over in all the games. They need it to be high scoring.
Wow. No, and here's the thing too, Sal. I saw this today. They're gonna include the spreads, the over-unders in the broadcast.
Good, they should.
They're gonna include it.
Wow.
That's what Fox
That's
said.
amazing.
That is amazing. They're gonna start broadcasting it everywhere.
Oh, I'm definitely watching that. Now
Oh,
I'm
and
look-
sports gambling
Now I'm
is-
looking
Yeah,
forward to
no,
that.
right in the booth. If you had -9.5, you must be hanging yourself.
Dude, they should have Pat McAfee do it.
He's gonna be a
Oh, that'd be
sideline.
awesome.
He's gonna be
Really?
Like yeah.
That's
Did you not
good.
see that?
No, I didn't see
They
that.
offered him a job
Pat McAfee like loves sports gambling now.
because I saw it was one of his videos and it like he was like a little bit clickbait. He's like Pat McAfee to the XFL ? And it was just him saying he's gonna be like a reporter for them.
That's still pretty cool. He'll definitely like get into it.
You're gonna
Oh,
see him on
yeah.
TV.
Yeah,
He's so funny.
that's awesome.
But then
He's
like
probably gonna- he'll
sports
pro-
gambling is coming to Connecticut soon.
Really?
Ned Lamont, I think, kind of alluded to it in his State of the State address today. If anyone's listening, we're from Connecticut, obviously.
State of the state.
I mean, it's getting more and more like out there. Like New Hampshire just got it. We got Rhode Island. I mean,
Jersey was like the first one.
Jersey
a couple
had
years
it.
ago.
Yeah,
Pennsylvania
Jersey.
has it. Like a lot of states around us have it, and then they're gonna be like, well, we're missing out on this.
Massachusetts is probably gonna have it soon.
I mean, Connecticut's always behind on what they can generate.
They
tax
always seem
money
to
on.
wait for New York and Massachusetts to do it, and then they're like, okay.
The
they're
problem,
like, oh,
the
it
problem
works.
is they should not wait because they can get a bunch of people from New York just to cross over to Connecticut to bet. Like,
Yeah, what do you
literally-
think all the Connecticut border bettors were doing?
Yeah, literally. Like, if you set up a casino right on the edge, like in I don't even know, like Stanford or Bridge.
Yeah.
they want to do Bridgeport, but I don't know if that's close enough.
I don't know if I want to go down to Bridgeport for a casino either. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, if they put it in like Stanford, or something, like there's a lot of rich people around.
I'm
that
just
area.
saying, there's a lot of avenues for
that
people to come
that
there.
Fairfield County is one of the richest counties in the whole country.
Bridgeport's
so-
kind of a landfill. I don't know if I want to.
They said that they're putting one there, and they also
That's disgusting.
they also said something about I read this a while ago that they want to make the XL Center like a sports betting like just a sports betting like arena basically. Like you go down, then you bet on sports, and like there's a bar and all that stuff. And like I don't know if they're still gonna have the games. Like I'm guessing
I know
they will.
some sites
They've had
you can
some
bet on.
kind of
Some sites you can bet on AHL.
Oh
games.
yeah, no, they're saying they want to dump a whole lot of money into it because like they need something in
Because
Hartford.
I can't think where they would put all that. It's not exactly the biggest place. The hallways are kind of narrow.
I don't know.
I think there's a lot of room because like the only thing that really fills that place is the Yukon games.
Yeah.
The Hartford Wolfpack games do not fill out the entire thing. So and that takes up like they only play a certain amount of games, Yukon games there. The Yukon hockey games doesn't really bring anybody out. So yeah, it's basically just the Yukon women and men's basketball. And that's only for a short period of time.
for 4 months, 5
So like
months out of the year.
when they're not in the winter time, like in the winter sports, because hockey and basketball are in the same season. So after that's done, they don't have anything. All it is concerts.
They'll find something to do with it. If it's not that, they'll
And only some sites let you bet on AHL games. I want to bet on AHL games.
I'm sure they'll let you.
There are some sites that do it, but
They're not going to let you bet on college games in the state, though. I feel like I read that somewhere, too.
I don't want to bet on college games, though. They're so unpredictable.
I don't mind that, but at least they keep, like, they're always worried about the integrity of the dam, so, like...
Yeah, imagine if you could rig that game. Just be like, hey.
Well, yeah, if you go up
they find a
to...
way,
Hey,
they
friend
do
who's
it.
a player.
If you go up to the
Slip in his 20,
Yukon football team
drop that
who's
pass.
terrible and say, like, hey, here's the spread, like, here's $100,000, I'm sure someone will go out there and drop some passes. Like, why not?
I don't know
I'm not saying I condone it, but like if you're a wide receiver on UConn who never wins a game ever, like what is the problem? Like why wouldn't you do that?
I don't even think anyone would be suspicious of that because UConn is so bad.
Exactly.
They're probably not going to have a football team next year.
Literally, they're talking about literally like disbanding the football program.
I mean, what's the point?
Honestly, like,
What are you not going to have a conference? You're not Notre Dame.
The only people that'd be mad are the college kids that just go there to fucking tailgate and party.
Yeah.
Those are the only people that would care. Like, no one from Connecticut's like, UConn football. It's all basketball.
Yeah.
It's all basketball.
Like, UConn has never been competitive in
Which
football.
really sucks. They can't be in the tournament this year or next year because of the way they fired Ollie, which is really disappointing because they've looked pretty nice in quite a few of their games this year. They had a pretty good start. I think Dan Hurley's been a pretty good recruiter.
They've been really close.
They just
to a lot
love
of
losing
ranked teams.
close games at the end. That's their MO this year.
Overtime losses.
Yeah,
is
but
like,
a lot of these kids are still like freshmen, sophomores that Hurley has recruited because obviously Kevin Ollie couldn't recruit for his life.
I think by the time that band's over,
Yeah.
you're gonna have some real talent.
Funny Kevin
UConn
Ollie
back in the
story
mix.
before we go. One time when we were at a soccer tournament in 8th grade, Kevin Ollie was in the parking lot with a recruit at where do we used to play for St. Bernard's? What was that park?
Was it at the park or was it at Sports World?
At the park.
It was in Manchester.
I don't know.
I forget what it was called.
So there was a parking lot and then there was the actual field, but you had to walk across. And in the parking lot, it was Kevin Ollie talking to this like big, hulky like recruit. He was probably like 6'9", 6'10". And my mom was like, go up and say hi to him. And then we like talked to him for a minute. And he was so spooked. He was like, why? Like, he just didn't expect to see anyone there, like anyone to come up to him because he definitely was not supposed to be there with this recruit.
Wow.
Gino Auriemma came to Fermi one time to look at Mary.
Well, yes, but I
Mary
think you
Bassett.
have like times where you're allowed to talk to recruits and times where it's like not okay or something like that. So it was pretty funny.
You-
What was that,
you
like
were
a
there
drug deal?
when
He
Gino
texted
was
that
there,
guy,
weren't
let's
you?
be in this
Yeah.
parking lot.
You saw him and you had the UNC sweatshirt on.
This is an even funnier story. This is how bad I run. I probably wore this UNC sweatshirt like 10 times in my life. Gino Auriemma shows up to Fermi High School.
Oh, no.
And I'm wearing a UNC shirt. Of course, right? Like, of course. How funny is
Didn't
that?
You shook hands with him and like met him too.
Yeah,
right?
I was
Yeah,
like,
imagine you're like, yeah, Gino, I'm a huge UConn fan.
I was just like, hi, Gino. Nice to meet you. If I said I was a fan, I would look ridiculous.
He'd be like, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, and another story too. Sal's met a lot of like real basketball people. Sal met Danny Ainge
I know
one
what you're
time.
about to say.
We were at the summer. We were in Vegas for the summer league, and like Danny Ainge is like not a lot. Like people know who Danny Ainge is, but like younger people aren't running up to him to get autographs.
Yeah.
And so he's sitting like courtside, and like you were allowed to like walk. We're walking by this guy, right? So we walk down there, and Sal goes, "Oh shit, that's Danny Ainge," and I'm like, oh, just go like shake his hand, see if you want like. Well, I didn't probably said autograph or something, but like we didn't have anything to sign, so I was like, oh, like go shake his hand, say hi. Sal goes up and like she goes, hey, I'm a big fan, and shakes his hand. Like the dude like did not even like look at Sal. Like he was like, what the fuck is happening?
He was
right
like,
now?
why is there a kid coming up and talking to me right now? He
Sal
was, like,
did not
looking
expect this 18-year-old kid to know who Danny Ainge was. Like he was so shook. Like I'll never forget the look on Danny Ainge's face.
He was just like so puzzled. He was like, what?
It wasn't disgust. Like he was like mad that Sal was shaking his hand. It was just like puzzled. Like he had no idea why. Like Sal would be like, oh hey.
Yeah, like hey GM.
Like I don't know. Like,
I mean, but he's very well known like among Celtics fans. He's very
yeah,
popular.
in Boston he's well, but we were in Vegas. Like
I don't know. He was very off guard when I came up to
Yeah,
him.
it's weird to like
that
not
was so
expect
funny
that.
though.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious.
I'm kind of glad you didn't ask for an autograph or like a
Oh
picture.
no,
It
same thing with Gino. If I said I was a big fan of Gino, I would have felt so stupid.
with the UNC thing on. Then we saw Jaylen Brown like absolutely dunk on somebody.
Oh, in Summer League, Jaylen
Summer
Brown
League.
just ended someone's career. Like just dunked all over someone.
Oh god,
That was like before Jaylen Brown was Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Too. It was like he was just coming out.
All right,
Those are
guys.
some funny stories to end on. So that was hilarious.
Ugh. I run so good all the time.
Like, how have you met all these like famous basketball people?
I don't know. You saw LeBron when you were in Vegas.
Yeah, but I didn't meet LeBron. I was like this close to LeBron, but like I didn't meet him.
True.
I was like, "Hey, LeBron," and he just walked out. Was hitting his head on the ceiling and then ducked underneath like this. I was like, that was like what 20?
It was a while ago.
Must have been like 2012, 2011, because we were in 7th grade, right?
Probably. Yeah.
I remember texting you. I was like, "Dude, I just saw LeBron." So I was like, "No way."
He was in Vegas. He was out
So
there.
I'll
right?
end on a story.
Yeah.
I'll tell Antonio this story. I was in Vegas. I feel like every time I'm in Vegas, I like see some.
I
right?
mean, it makes sense. It's Las Vegas.
It's Vegas, right? And it must have been after, because when did he win in Miami?
It was the year he won. It was the year he won.
The first championship in Miami was like after the fact, probably a couple months after. And I was at Caesar's Palace, and people that know Caesar's Palace, there's a huge mall there, and they have a Nike Town there, and that was like my favorite place to go. So I'm walking up to Nike Town, and there is just a crowd of people around, and I'm with my mom, and I was probably like, what, 13, 12 at the time, and I walk up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And LeBron is sitting, they had a huge like stage set up, and LeBron's sitting on the stage talking to all these kids. It was like for the Play 60 thing or whatever, and like he's like done, and I'm like trying to walk in the store and like look at stuff, and they had this like lane set up for him to leave. Like it was like those like I don't even know what you call them, but like barriers so he could leave. And I was like looking, and all of a sudden I see him come walking, and I'm the only one there, right? Like standing there, like looking at him leave. And this dude is huge. He is huge. Like people
So
talk
did you
about
not
how.
even say anything? You're just like,
No, I was like, "Hey, LeBron," as I was like looking up at him, like watching him walk by.
yeah, hey,
And he
Mr.
didn't
James, pleasure to see you.
He didn't acknowledge me at all. And I look, and I just remember vividly, he had to like duck, like you know how people like are tall and they have to go like this to like get through the door. He ducked like straight down, like hunched over pretty much to get through the doorway. That was like 7 feet tall.
Imagine you said that to him and he heard you just ignoring you. He walks up to his like security guard or whatever. He's like, "Yo, can you get that kid out of there back there? I don't want to see him
leaving,
anymore."
No, that was pretty cool. I had no idea how big like LeBron. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Imagine seeing like
is.
Taco Fall though. Like I know LeBron's big, but like
That's
Taco,
like,
like
I could
Taco
not
Fall's got to
imagine.
be like extraterrestrial.
I mean, the
dude.
first NBA, like
They'd have to
watch the NBA on TV.
redo the entire like store to make it higher for.
What
Taco
kind of
Fall.
car does Taco Fall drive on?
He like I don't.
No, but like you watch
Probably just is in the back of a box truck.
you
Probably.
watch the NBA on TV and you're like, you see this like 6'6" shooting guard. You're like, yeah, he's not that big. Then you go to like a real life basketball game
And you're like,
and
holy
you're like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh
and
no!
then,
When I saw, we sat like a little bit higher up, but Celtics Bucks game. When I got to go down and see like Giannis standing there, I was like, oh my god, that's not like
huge, and
not
it makes
natural.
no sense. Like everyone talks about how big they are, but you see it in person, and it's like a whole different thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was a good time, like the summer league.
Oh yeah.
And I went 2 years ago, and I like stayed and got to see Lonzo play. Back when it was like the top of Lonzo hype.
Mhm.
Top Lonzo.
Yeah, he had like
hype.
27 in that second summer league game.
Yeah.
Didn't he lead a game-winning 3 too or something?
Yeah, he won MVP of the summer league
Yeah.
that year, and that was kind of
Yeah, I don't know if I went to that game or if I went to the game
He's been playing
before.
better lately.
Yeah, no, he's a nice player for the Pelicans.
Yeah, he's
good
been,
distributor.
He's been average Al. That's what he's been. But I don't think. I mean, people were expecting him to be like huge, but he's been average.
Still got time.
Still got time. Still
Good
young.
rebounder, good distributor.
Still young. I mean, the
Horrible
kid's
scorer.
my age. For like, he's like what, 21, 22.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
So like,
I think he got
yeah,
drafted.
he's
out as a
got
freshman.
plenty of time. Same with Kuzma, right? Because Kuzma was in the
Same
summer
draft.
league game, the one that I watched,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, I
wow,
think
everyone's talking about Lonzo.
He
This
definitely
Kuzma guy is
he
fucking.
definitely came out later than Kuzma though.
The
Kuzma's
hype,
older.
the hype was different though for Kuzma.
Well,
Like
yeah.
everyone was hyping about Lonzo, and Lonzo was dishing dimes to Kuzma, and Kuzma was balling the game that I saw, and I was like, why is everyone talking about Lonzo? They should be talking about this
He's
kid.
dropping 25.
Yeah, good times. All right, gentlemen.
All right,
Till
guys.
next time.
See you later.
Till
Well
next
done.
time.